Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually have some pretty fun news to go and talk about because the whole internet was kind of taken by storm as of yesterday. And as well, we have a lot of various little small tidbits and other little things we're going to talk about. So we have a lot of cool gaming PlayStation 5 news. We have a lot more internal information leaks. We have some more intriguing stuff going on. And as well, we also have some kind of fun stories too. A little bit of just kind of a random spread around everywhere video, so that's all cool with you guys. And as well, I just kind of like this because I finally get to talk a little bit more about that God of War. And I think that as of right now, that's probably one of the biggest, at least in my opinion, news when it comes to PlayStation and Sony, besides maybe the PlayStation VR whenever that does officially come on out. So we have a lot of things to go talk about, a lot of things to bring on up, so if you guys will step back and enjoy. As well, if any of you guys are brand new, make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on. As well, for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway, we have the Amazon links down below for the nice Amazon invitation signups, the Twitter and Twitch streams down below, the Target links, and all the other various good old links too as well. And let's go dive in the business. So as you guys may or may not know, we keep on seeing a lot of good news in regards to the God of War Ragnarok. I cannot wait for this game. It's probably the most anticipated game for me this year, absolutely, and I'm sure a lot of you guys too as well watching. And at the end of the day, I love this stuff. I love the fact that we can see the consoles. I love the fact that we get the hookup. I love the fact that we're now seeing leaks. So let's go talk about it. So with this, we've had some huge leaks. We've kind of covered the same person up throughout this week because it seems like they've been pretty on point with all their information. But the prominent leaker teases impending God of War Ragnarok PlayStation 5 and PS4 reveals. So hopefully this doesn't happen throughout a few hours before this video happens or whatever. But basically this kind of goes to show that God of War Ragnarok is imminent. So if you've been following the video game industry closely, we've actually even mentioned this on our channel itself, you'll be familiar with Twitter leaker The Snitch, an insider with a flawless batting record so far. And they've been pretty on point too as well from everything we've seen, spanning everything from Sony's recent state of play to a number of announcements throughout not E3 week. So reliable as his sneaksters, roomsters have been, they could practically take anything from their account as confirmation. Now this, I also always want to keep you guys in the loop though. Just because someone has had a pretty consistent run, they could always be wrong. But for this, let's go keep the faith over here because I'm excited. And you guys can see with this, they did go and tweet out a very basic thing. A God of War GIF. So, nothing super crazy, but a superimposed Kratos meme with what appears to be a code at the bottom will have PlayStation fans' pulses racing. Many believe that the 11110 is binary for 30, or effectively June 30th. It's only like a week away. That is a Thursday, which is also generally when the Sony tends to hold their State of Play broadcast, and it also has been correlating a lot with other journalists by saying that there will be either another State of Play, which we've actually been hearing rumors on and talk about ourselves, maybe in regards to the brand new Sony stuff, maybe not, but as well maybe for PSVR, or, as you guys may have seen, usually whenever these really big, high-profile games, such as, say, God of War, do come out, they usually do have a State of Play right before then to kind of go over, details, story, show off a little bit more gameplay and stuff, features. If you guys remember, Horizon Forbidden West did also have that, where they had a pretty nice, good, and pretty efficient run-through for everything right before the game came out. And this could be it, because we still don't have the official release date, but with so many people rumoring stuff, we keep on hearing September, October, and November. I think more recently these past few months and have been more on the November side, but we've seen so much internal leaks. We've seen website listings that kind of put the game in between it. We've had official merchandising that should not have probably been live up on other stuff that have certain release dates, and we've even had the official huge developers come back. We've had them also kind of state that the game doesn't seem like it's being delayed, and everything with this has been looking huge. So this is probably one of the biggest PlayStation 5 leaks still that will maybe have another State of Play in the next few weeks, that will probably be having the God of War focused and or entirely focused on God of War. And as well, I'm just excited to finally have a chance to play this game after all these years, all the promotion and everything else tied on in with it. So I'm excited, whether it's for just the game itself or other stuff tied on in, but don't forget we did also have the official kind of somewhat VR placed State of Play not that long ago. So I just want to bring this up that we keep on seeing this. This has been the talk of the town, and at the end of the day, I'm just so excited. And hopefully this track record stays consistent so we kind of know what's coming out in the near future. But as well, kind of in some similar news too as well, we had a lot of Final Fantasy 16 news. So probably the more, I'd say, maybe second most hyped up game for the brand new console. Where we actually heard a lot more information in regards to Final Fantasy 16 producer, which has now been confirming a few kind of nice things. If you guys ever played Final Fantasy 15, it was open world, and it wasn't necessarily the best. Like, the structure and world building wasn't necessarily the best. So now we're actually hearing that this Final Fantasy 16 is gonna be more like I guess systemic, where it's kind of basically going by part. So when Final Fantasy 16 was first released, many fans assumed it would follow in the footsteps of its predecessor and be more of a large-scale RPG. But according now to producer Nakoi Yoshida, that won't be the case. Instead, Yoshida says Final Fantasy 16 will focus on area-based design in a manner that sounds similar more to Pokemon Legends Arceus. So it kind of seems like it's open world to an extent. So it's like kind of more of like a segmented, like you kind of go through all the side quests and areas as you're in that certain level and going from there. So saying it's not going to be a traditionally open world game by itself, Yoshida does say that it will take a lot of inspiration from AAA open world RPGs though, but he doesn't say anything specifically. We've never found in our extensive user research that many of the younger generations of gamers have never played a Final Fantasy or don't have any interest in the series. To create a game that might excite and resonate not only with our core fans, but also with that new generation. We played a lot of games ourselves. So yeah, in Final Fantasy 16 I find a lot of inspiration too as well, which I like to see, although as long as this open world / pseudo open world actually has content, then I'm happy. However, to bring a story that feels like it spans an entire globe and beyond, we decided to avoid an open world design that limits us to a single open world space, instead focus on more of an independent area-based game design. So I would almost want to say like it almost kind of seems a little bit like Final Fantasy VII, but a little bit better, where it's gonna open enough, but it's still segmented and kind of progressing, which I'm cool with that too as well. It's kind of cool to see. We found in our extensive research that many of the younger generations have never played a Final Fantasy or don't have any interest, which is kind of intriguing. So as well, we also did go and have a chance to showcase up some of the stuff in the state of play, and then Square Enix obviously went along. We didn't want to have like too much open world as well, mainly because Final Fantasy 15's world was generally criticized as barren and undeveloped. And I can kind of understand that, because like if you're looking at a big game, you kind of want to make sure there is content everywhere, and sometimes open world, it's just not enough. Like a good example probably still is like, say, Breath of the Wild. A lot of good content, a lot of stuff, but there was a lot of still barren areas. Or if you guys look at a lot, like say like a Fallout 76, like a lot of various games, they just have a like, even No Man's Sky, there's a lot of just barren stuff tied on in. So all around kind of cool too as well, because it does seem like the game is kind of getting its focus. It knows what it's going for. We do keep on seeing really good news when it comes to Final Fantasy 16. But really bad news, if you guys remember, we have been watching a lot of Babylon's Fall, where the PS4 and PS5 console exclusive flop somehow even gets even worse. So if you guys don't know, Babylon's Fall was a game that basically Square Enix pushed, and they kind of promoted quite a bit, and it only came out not that long ago, on March 3rd, you know, on the PC, PS4, and PS5. And it had probably one of the world's worst ratings, a 41 on Metacritic. Basically everything was awful. The game was like, they spent millions upon millions of dollars on development. They wanted to make it a live service game, like how it is for, say, like Destiny and other various games, like, you know, say even Monster Hunter, and basically no one wanted to play the game. Last time we made this video and talked about it, I think it dipped down to like 23 people, which is awful for the amount of money that they spent into this. And also Platinum Games have made a lot of really cool games out there. They've made like some cool games like Bayonetta, Vanquish, Nier Automata, and Astral Chain over the years. Although as well, this is still the biggest blemish known to date. So how did it get worse for the game? Well, according to Steam charts, the game hit literally 0 people playing the game on Steam. Over the last 24 hours, its peak number of concurrent players is only 21. And don't forget, this entire game, as we've been kind of tracking it, is all based on multiplayer. If you don't have other people to play with, you are literally not getting the full experience. The game itself is worse. It's just not as fun. And as well, if you literally have 0 people for a game that you developed and put millions of dollars into, that's awful. Like, that's literally, this is like playing, say, like a Destiny or Call of Duty with literally 0 other people, and the only people you're playing with are maybe even bots, if you're even lucky, if those are even set on up. So basically, this game is just done. Like, it's like, you can't come back from literally 0 people playing your game, and it kind of even goes to show that even the developers aren't even playing, so it's just been a struggle. Now, last but not least, No Man's Sky, if you guys still remember that. Funny enough, still has actually not ever had a physical game, and they are finally now getting their own very first physical copy, so major congratulations to them. But give me all of your thoughts and comments down below. What do you guys think about the God of War? Are you guys excited for it to finally come on out? Are you guys hyped up for it in general? I know I am myself. Same with the Final Fantasy 16. I'm just happy we're finally hearing news on it. And as well, make sure you guys keep on checking your GameStop stores for any PlayStation 5s if you guys want. I appreciate you guys so much for watching, so much for chilling. I'll have hopefully a little bit more news and updates for you guys all throughout today. And as well, make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on, as well for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway. Amazon links down below for the signups down below, the Twitter and Twitch stream too as well, and the Weeble Coinbase and all that good stuff too down below. And I appreciate you guys all so much for watching in the first place.